But joining me in the studio now is the regular host of this time slot, Nigel Farage, TV News presenter, of course. Also, honorary president of Reform UK. And I suppose we have to start there. We were talking with the team earlier about what the big moments of today would be. And we were a little bit worried, saying, are we just going to talk about Nigel? Is that just being too introspective? But then we realised, actually, people who aren't even particularly involved in politics, who might just be passing by, there is one main story today. And it's that you're not standing.
No, it should be Keir Starmer's speech this morning, but of course that is not memorable in any way at all. I have always said that there'll be a moment when I throw my hat in the ring fully into British politics. I've also said age 60, I've got one more card to play, and it's about when I play it. I had, to be honest with you, put in place some preparations to launch next week. I wonder whether the Conservative Party found out about it. I think the sense of panic that we saw yesterday, the badly prepared speech, might perhaps have prompted it a little bit. To
be clear, you were about to launch a campaign to stand as an MP next week.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Where were you going to stand?
That wasn't certain. There were a variety of options that I could have gone for, but I was about to do it next week to say, look, I'm going to do this full on. However, that's the only thing that's changed. The fact that I won't be standing has changed. Am I going to be campaigning? Yes. Am I backing Richard Tice 100%? Yes. Will I be travelling around the country, speaking, going to rallies, doing media? Yes. Do I think that today's immigration figures, stunning figures, 1.2 million people settled in this country last year, 141,000 from Nigeria, 250,000 from India, 83,000 from Pakistan. This is incredible. This is incredible. At a time when rents have gone up 20% in 2 years, you can't get a GP appointment. So I'm going to be out there.
Net, those numbers are 685,000.
Yeah, and net means a lot of British people have left.
Mainly foreign people have left.
Some and some. It's some and some.
Lots of students.
More people, Tom, have settled in the country in the last 2 years than came here from the Norman invasion until David Cameron became Prime Minister. Just think about that.
That was a line that was used by Richard Tice today.
And Richard Tice's presentation today was in a different league to the mumbling and stumbling in the rain of Sunak yesterday, to the totally unmemorable performance in the Medway Towns earlier on today. So I'm going to be out. So if the Tories think it's great, Nigel's not standing, they're wrong. I'm going to be involved in this campaign, absolutely. What I could not do in the space of 6 weeks, and yes, all right, he's wrong-footed me, but in the space of 6 weeks was to find a constituency from scratch and go around the country. I'm utterly committed to reform. I believe their agenda is the only one that can actually stop the sense of national decline that we're in.
But you hadn't thought of a seat? You hadn't thought of Boston and Skegness? You hadn't thought of Clacton?
No, I thought of several seats. I hadn't decided which. That wasn't the point. So look, the fact that I'm not standing is big news. Well, fine, but I'm going to be involved in this campaign.
Nigel, I have to say, there was a significant part of your note that you wrote this morning that got a lot of people who are big fans of yours riled up a little bit. And that was the suggestion, the implication, that the United States of America election matters more to you than the United Kingdom general election.
No, the American election doesn't matter more to me. It matters more to us. It matters more to the world. We are closer now than we've been at any point since the Cuban Missile Crisis to a serious global war.
Nigel, you are a man who's devoted your political career to the importance of domestic politics, domestic elections, and pushing away foreign interference. You're now saying what happens in a different country matters more to this country than our own politics.
World War III matters more to this country than who wins the next election, yes, absolutely. No question about it. And a weak America, we saw the Biden withdrawal from Kabul. We saw the Taliban taking back over. That was followed by Putin invading Ukraine. The Chinese now rattling their sabres over Taiwan. We're in a very bad place. We have to recognise the leader of the Western world is America. Whether you like him or not, Donald Trump believes in peace through strength. That is good. That must be good for us. So my plan is very simple. To campaign up until July the 4th, very hard for Tice and for reform. And by the way, this is a 6-year campaign we've got. We have got a 6-year plan to become the biggest party in British politics. 6 weeks wasn't enough for me to do both on the national stage and a constituency. But after that, I'll be in America a lot, Trump, whether you love him or hate him, believes in peace through strength. He must win.
You'll be in America a lot running up to that November election.
Absolutely.
Will you be working for Donald Trump's campaign in an official capacity?
No, I don't believe I will. What I'm good at is getting grassroots energised, getting grassroots active. And I've been offered a role to work for a very big grassroots conservative movement in America, not aligned to the Republican Party as such, but very influential. Very much so. And I went out 3 years ago and spoke to these people. I turned up in Arizona, 1,000 people turned up. And I said to them, get engaged, fight. Don't come along and clap and agree. Don't go to a Trump rally and love it. Get engaged. If I can help with that, if I can help Trump win, that's good for all of us.
Well, you heard it here first. Nigel Farage, perhaps the face of a Trump-adjacent super PAC in the US presidential election.